Guys, what I say, no sloppy steaks. Welcome again to Trust the Profits. I'm the formula here, and we're going to go through another preview, hopefully in under 10 minutes. Going to try to get you out the door pretty quick on this one. We're talking about the Jockey Club Gold Cup Stakes at Saratoga. We're doing a preview of that. Today is August 31st. We don't know the draw yet. We just have a probable field based on what Horse Racing Nation has 10 horses. I'm sure some of which are not going to be in the race, but we'll cover them anyway. The race will be this weekend, September 3rd, 2022. It's a Saturday. It will be run at Saratoga. It's a G1, 10 furlongs, 1.25 mile. As you can see here, there are one, two, three, four Todd Pletcher horses that are on the list here. We'll see which one of those later will be running and which ones will not. I'm sure he's not going to stack all four in. Maybe he will. But let's move on and see who's in the race. OLYMPIAD. 5 wins and 6 starts in 2022, but failed to show in any of his G1 attempts so far. Finished 33 lengths back of Life is Good, Happy Saver, Hot Rod Charlie, and the Whitney, a 9 furlong race. Failed to live up to his win at the Stephen Foster, where he came within a second of setting the track record there. Pretty impressive race. We've seen a lot from Olympiad that we like so far, but is yet to really do anything in a G1 race. I think he's going to be the favorite here. I don't think the rest of the field is going to take away from the money, you might say, based on how much he's been winning this year. This could be a time for him to step up and finally get that G1. But let's see who else is in this field. There might be some value here. American Revolution, winner of a G1, the only winner of a G1 in this field. 2021 Cigar Mile winner, beating Following Sea, Olympiad, who we just mentioned, and Independence Hall. Most recently finished second to Olympiad at the Stephen Foster, 2 lengths back, and a weak fourth place finish at the Blame Stakes. He's won a G1, but can he win at this distance? Previously, some of his races at longer distances have not been nearly as impressive. So American Revolution is a horse to consider, probably one of the top Pletcher horses in this race, or is he? First Captain, 4-year-old winner of the Pimlico Special Stakes, recently second at the Suburban Handicap, winner by a nose over Dynamic One. The common theme here, as I mentioned before, winners of G2 races and G3 races, but failed to look great in G1 races. First Captain is definitely that. One time, one time in 8 races, finishing out of the money was the Carter Handicap, where he finished seventh. But other than that, remove that race. Pretty damn good looking resume for First Captain. Moving on, we got Brooklyn Strong. Hasn't won since the Remsen in 2020. 3/3 in 4 starts this year, all in non-graded races. Brooklyn Strong, former Derby runner, outclassed. Keep Me in Mind. This is one that I like. Most recently won an allowance race at Saratoga, first race under Todd Pletcher. That's a key element right there before he was being traded by Robertino Diodoro. Finished 10 lengths back in 2021 at the Travers. Second in the Jim Dandy to Essential Quality, half length back. I think that's his most impressive race to date, was tangling, going toe-to-toe with Essential Quality at the Jim Dandy. Ran several high-profile races, as you probably remember, in 2021 as he was on the Derby Trail. But really often looked disappointing in a number of those races, never finished up as high as most would like for Keep Me in Mind. Dynamic One, coming off 2 wins, Suburban Stakes, G2 race, and Blame Stakes. The other 2022 race, a second place finish, 1 length back from Scalding at the Ben Ali, is a G2 race at Keeneland. So far, a very solid 2022 for Dynamic One, showing significant improvements in his 4-year-old year. Um, Getting stronger based off of what he showed us in 2021 when he ran in the Derby. Looked disappointing there and looked disappointing in the Travers, but so far so good in 2022. Informative. Whoops, forgot to change the picture. Forget about that for a moment. Performances are up and down. A lot of fifth place finishes, which is probably the reason I didn't change the picture here. Uh, the uh, the way it looks for Informative, we'll have one great race, finishes in first place. The rest of the year, fifth and seventh place finishes. Last race this year was a G3 win at Monmouth, beating Highly Motivated. Very impressive. But Here's the question for informative is, does this mean that the rest of the year he's going to be finishing in 5th, 6th, and 7th, and we're going to be looking for that first win next year? Or is this a new trend for him? Is he finally getting a little bit more consistent? Question for informative. We'd like to get answered. Maybe it will get answered on Saturday. The rest of the field. Chess Chief, the Virginia horse, seems to enjoy most of his success at the New Orleans Fairground. Nothing to suggest, though, that he's really at the same level in the same class as these horses. Not enough wins in lower tier races to suggest that he's going to do anything at the Gold Cup here. Tax. This is an interesting one. Rated higher on Horse Racing Nation than I have him, probably based off of his last race. Ran once since January 2021 at the Pegasus when he ran at the Pegasus. That race is the Battery Park Stakes at Delaware Park. Took first place, 9 furlong race, 2 lengths ahead of the pack. Ran several G1s previous, but never made any noise, as I mentioned before, the Pegasus. Um, I'm not really high on Tax this time around. Probably have to see more of him and more recent race performances before I can really say that he's going to make some noise here. And then Untreated, third at the Suburban, third at Pimlico, has been beaten by several horses in this field already. Not super high on Untreated. So, what's our strategy here? As I said before, Olympiad is probably going to be the favorite, most likely, despite the fact that he looked a little stale in the last race. So I'm going to go with Keep Me in Mind here. I think that for the money, I think Olympiad is probably still going to draw a lot of money. Keep Me in Mind, probably going to be second or third, but I like the upswing that he's on here. I won an allowance race with his new trainer Todd Pletcher. I think Todd Pletcher could have him turned around in the right direction. This was a horse that in 2021 had a lot of promise that we are expecting to see big things from, and maybe under Todd Pletcher we will finally see those things. This could be the race that turns it around for him. With that in mind, if I'm going to do a try box key, one of my favorite plays, I'm still going to put Olympiad as the key because I think he's a strong enough horse. He's not going to finish out of the top 3. Keep Me in Mind might be a little bit riskier, even though I do have him to win. I just like the odds that I feel like I'm going to get with Keep Me in Mind. But I will key Olympiad and add in Keep Me in Mind, Dynamic One, and First Captain. American Revolution, I'm tempted by. And informative as well. But I think Dynamic One and Informative are probably going to get a better price than American Revolution. So I bounced him out and I'm leaning towards Dynamic One in that spot as well as First Captain. So there you have it. I'm the formula. I got you here in under 8 minutes. I hope you guys have a good day and peace out.